The St. Augustine ice plant dates back to 1927. It was the first ice-making company in Florida, and today is the only such facility in the state. Their mission is to return to the craft of ice making, but this time they are using purified water in the process.
Yeah, we have multiple purification processes for everything. I mean, if you figure you're only as good as your weakest link, and if your weakest link is water or your ice, like if your ice doesn't taste good, then your cocktail's not going to taste good. So everything goes through a vigorous filtration process.
Zach Lynch is the bar manager. He says the different shapes of ice are used for each drink.
All the ice is catered to a specific drink, but it's really kind of key to dilution. If you wanted to have like a straight whiskey drink, you'd want to have a large rock or a sphere because it's more dense ice and actually has a larger surface area to keep the drink colder without watering it down.
Robin Canfield is the newest employee of the ice plant. She has been learning how to mold each block of ice into one of 5 shapes for the drinks that they make.
I think the least used is our sphere. That's our hardest one to make. That is the one that we use a press for. It's a 10-pound aluminum press that starts with our 3-inch block. Probably the most used just for a cocktail presentation-wise is going to be that pebble ice.
The St. Augustine Distillery, which is directly next door, holds much history about the original ice plant. Brandon Wheatley, director of production, says back in the 1920s, refrigerators were cooled by large blocks of ice.
It was a series of baffles, and it held a big block of ice, and slowly that ice would melt, and it kept things quite cold. And they were big insulated containers.
The process was completely different from today's ice plant.
They cut blocks with big saws, actually. So they had rotary saws and cut it into sheets and then break it up from there.
Today's consumer has different demands of those of yesteryear, and ice is no longer just about keeping things cold.
By far our most popular drink is the Florida Mule. That's the one in the copper cup. We use the pebble ice for that. And we fresh squeeze our own ginger. It's made with St. Augustine vodka. That's the one that's made here in-house, just downstairs. And so all these fresh squeezed juices on this pebble ice. It's super refreshing.
For Ancient City Stories, I am Kathleen Bajalia.